Good evening, and we are back. It's the return of the FBL Community Endurance Race live from Nordschleife in Germany. We are here at the Green Hell with 154 corners tonight, 20.64 kilometers, and a track temperature of 27 degrees centigrade. It's been an absolute crazy season so far. We're just on our way back from our summer break, and we will be doing it once again. The season wraps up before the end of the iRacing season, so we will be done before the end of August. Okay, so we've got round 6 here tonight in Nordschleife. Then we've got round 7 at Mosport. That's taking place on the 31st of July. Then we've got round 8 on the 7th of August. Bathurst on the 14th. And then we close out for the season finale at Interlagos on the 28th of August. So there's a lot of season date changes because we are looking at bringing you some amazing action. And I know that Sandro Capella has been working hard in the background to bring you all the great radical racing and all of his ideas, including a World Cup series, which is just going to absolutely be incredible. John McCutcheon is in chat. Hey, he says. Hey, welcome in. He's on track tonight, and currently we have got 16 cars going to be racing around Nordschleife, around this 154-turn circuit. And it's unfortunate because we haven't got any Ola Bratton at the moment. And it's a shame, really, because Ola done an absolute flying start here in the Sprint Championship. Made up 4 places, took the inside, and absolutely crushed it. So there you go, guys. So thank you so much for joining us. If you are here for the first time, please hit that subscribe button, turn on the bells for notifications, and don't forget to give the video a big old thumbs up. I am James Parfitt, and I'll be guiding you through the action with Dan Peoples tonight. Why we've got Tyler Oldham on production in the background, bringing us all the great camera angles and showing us all the action. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and we're using iRacing tonight, the world's premier simulator. Right, guys, so here we are. We've got about 3.5 minutes left of practice. We've got the championship standings from that's up to date as right now before this race. So John McCutcheon is currently leading the championship on 239 points. Dennis Kiriakopoulos is on 228. Eric Hanoi on 200. Niha Gluskic on 122. Anders Liliode on 116. Stefan Sheen on 113. David Walters is on 109, Marco Tolman on 108, Andrew Horswood on 101. And then we got Mike Buson is on 91 points. Graham Brown from Moving Matters on 86, Alphonse Roux is on 71. He's tied with David Rolliston currently at the moment. Daniele Castigado is on 70, Damien G on 61, Joel Amos on 51, Colin Wynn on 50, Stephen Blaze on 48. Ivan Bramer on 47 and Gary Truby on 46. That rounds out our top 20. Good evening, James and Dan. Good evening, Ivan Bramer. How are you? So we are going to bring Dan into the booth this evening. Dan, how are you?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, James. Yeah, I'm doing well at the moment. Done with the 24 hours of Spa, immediately into some beautiful radical racing at the Green Hell.
Yeah, absolutely. The 24 hours of Spa was absolutely crazy. We did we put on a broadcast for the Prismatic Racing team, for their Minerva team, and covered the full 24 hours. And it was, I've got to say, it was a really good race, and it was a long one. Slight incident about an hour in, about an hour before the end. Who needs a good old engine blow about an hour before the end of the race? So, unfortunately, they did manage to finish, and they did manage to take it across the line. So that's most important. Tyler in chat. Where's my good evening, Ivan? Tyler is on production tonight as well. So we will bring you up a race overlay shortly as we do come to the end of the end of practice. 1 minute 51 remaining left on practice before we go into quali. So be aware, guys, it's going to be an absolutely crazy race. How did you get on in the 24-hour, Dan? Where did you finish?
We finished P4 in the third split, so for me that's an exceptional result. There was more in it. I binned it behind P3 when we were 9 tenths behind them. I closed down a gap of 2 minutes. Then binned it when we were 9 tenths behind them. I spun, lost around 26 seconds. Then we decided to not take tires in the last pit stop. That was not the right decision. 20 minutes before the end, Puhon, Radion, and Blanchemont became very tricky, so we decided to throw in the towel and basically pit it for tires. So yeah, still very happy with P4.
Yeah, the Prismatic Athena team finished in P13. Their 12th place ran out of basically had slowed down enough to let the leader pass, so they didn't have to. They just managed to get their last lap in because they nearly run out of fuel, and it would have allowed the Athena team to take 12th place. As they did that, though, they finished 13th. Minerva finished in 28th, I believe, after having an engine blow up about an hour from the end. So, but it was still an absolutely epic race. Come together very quickly. So, yeah, much love to them. It was absolutely incredible. We've had a few more cars join us currently as well, taking the total up to 18 cars on track at the moment. 18 cars whizzing around Nordschleife on this 154 turn circuit. This is just somewhat of an exception, Dan, this track, isn't it? You know, it's not often you go to a circuit that's got 154 corners on it.
Yeah, indeed. Of course, for the drivers, 154 turns is very, very difficult to remember them all. It's basically impossible as we end practice and go into qualifying. So the drivers will be doing it probably just in sections. They get to a section and they remember, oh, this is the turn that is coming up, of course. So they don't remember the full track, most of them, I think.
Yeah, it is a difficult one because, you know, I've driven this track quite a few times and there's still points.
Do you know it?
Yeah, I kind of, yeah, I think when you do so much, you kind of do know what's coming up. Like, so I can tell you now, if we stay on board with Colin Wynn, so jump on the roll bar with Colin. So we're going to come down to the right-hander, then we're going to go left, then we're going to go forward, we're going to go left again, then we're going to go into a long right-hander currently now. There we go, and then round a double. Going to go left, drop round to a right, down over there, start turning now, go around the left-hander, and then we're going to drop on to a right-hander. Then we're going to have a little kink of a left, and that's going to lead us on to a long, well, they call it a straight. It's not really a straight. There are turns in the middle. We're going to go up over this tight hill where you can launch the car if you hit it fast enough, and then you're going to go around this long, tricky right-hander. Round the circuits, you see Colin Wynn getting a bit of a slide on cold tyres here in the SR8. Then we're going to go left, drop over the crest of the hill. There we go. We're going to go all the way. Keep going now down here straight away. We're going to go left, which can be taken flat out in these cars, but they've got to hug this inside curb. And then we're going to go right at the end. Obviously, we're slowing down for Colin. He's just letting people through. So we're going to go right-hander now. There you go. Right, so we're going to go under the bridge, drop down the hill. We're going to go left. And then we're going to kind of straighten up this corner as much as possible. It's a section of 3, but you've got to straighten it up. Go down the hill, going to go left up the hill. Then you've got a left-hander that you can take in 5th gear if you're brave. Then you're going to go hard on the brakes, down through the gears you go, round to 3rd. And then this well, it's almost like a hairpin of a left-hander. Then you're going to go right. And then you're going to go on to like a almost mini straightaway where you go over the crest of the hill. You're going to go to the right-hand side. Colin is moving over again for somebody else. That's Mike Bousson just gone past us. At the base of this hill, we're going to go left, and then we're going to go on to the brakes because we've got to take a left-hander here, and around we go. So we're going to go right, drop over the base of the hill, down through a right-hander we've got coming up. Can be tricky, a little bit slidey if you don't get it right. Up over the curb, he's got to tighten that up a little bit, otherwise that's going to cause him a problem. Flat through here, you can make it as much as you can. Go round the right-hander. Colin's not going full speed. Now this is a tricky one. You've got to start braking before you turn, and you've got to ride the brakes all the way round till you can get around this tight left-hander of a circuit, and then you're going to go round to the right here. Go down a little bit of a straight, go to the right hand, and then we're going to go left, a long looping left-hander really. as it goes all the way round. You want to try and stay off that curb because that will not take the car very well. Round to the right. There we go. And off for a straight run now. As we come round to the left-hander, follow where Mike Brousselon's going. He's going to go left. You can take this flat. Colin is not taking it flat. And then you've got the right-hander at the bottom here, which you've got to lead us round now. You won't take that in fourth gear, Colin. You'll be down in third for that. And then we're going on a non-straightaway. This leads us up into the carousel section of the track. We're going to go sort of... It's a difficult one, this down, because it's not really straight. There are turns on it, but you're pretty much flat all the way through here. So
let me tell you, I've lost you at the point where you said we're coming out of pit lane.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, well, that's fair enough. Well, we are going to go along here now. As you can see, we're going to go right. This is all flat, guys. Colin is not flat, I can tell you that much. Now, round the left-hander, stay flat as you can. You might want to do a little lift if you're running slightly wide. You're going to go up over the crest to the right-hander. Again, you can take this flat out if you've got the car hooked up. And then we're going to come in, we can straight line this bit, going to go right up into the carousel. Now, the carousel's an interesting one, because if you bounce out of the carousel, you're going to have some problems. You're going to straight line these curbs. You've got to drop in about now and hug that inside line. You can take that quite fast. So up over the little hill, watching the exit of the carousel, because there is a pretty nasty bump there. And then you're coming in to sort of, you're now near enough halfway round the circuit. We're probably at one of the northern parts of the circuit at the moment. So there you go. So we'll keep going there. There is Stefan Sheen. We're going to go round the right-hander. Round another right. And we're going to go left and then right again. There we go, there's the right hander, and then we're going to go left. You're going to be on the brakes at this point, trying to get the car a little bit slowed down, take the inside curb, down up the hill, round the right hander. There you go, over we go on the thing. We're going to go round to the left, getting the car stopped, and then left, double left, down right through the right hander, up over, there you go, up over the hill, right hander. This is a long looping right hander, and you can run wide if you've got slippery tyres, so they're going to have to be careful. Right, round to the left we go. Keeping it tight up onto the gas. Right, so this is where it gets even trickier currently at the moment. We're going to go left and then we're going to bounce here. So the guys have got to be careful. There is a little bounce once you hit that full speed there. Round to the right-hander. Then we're going to go left.
Is it 4 tyres off the ground there?
Oh, that is not good in qualifying. So here we go, we picked up Christopher Beaujean tonight, who's joined us. Full flat through here, all the way through, flat on this section. We're going to go round to the right-hander now. Down gear, then on the brakes for the left-hander. Then we're going to drop into the mini carousel, which is a mini version of the carousel. There he goes, got to be on that inside. We drop down. Onto the gas we go. We can go flat if we've got the car hooked up. There might be a little lift at the top of the hill just to get it straight. There you go. Right, and now we're just on the gas for a good mile, if not longer. So there you go.
Well, James, let me tell you, that's a real roller coaster ride, but something that is different to other qualifiers for these guys is, of course, the fact that this track is so long, 20.64 kilometers, 12.8 miles for the people, but that doesn't give you, I think that gives you around 2, maximum 3 laps, I think. So it has to be done quick.
Well, they've got an outlap, and then they've got a lap time of about 6:25. So if they want to get 2 laps in, basically they've got to try and ride that outlap as fast as they can. So they're going to come in now, going to be on the brakes, taking in the inside. We're going to go right, down into second, then we're going to go left, and then we're looking for the edge of the barrier. You want to take this barrier as close as you can. And there you go, that's the lap of the Nordschleife for you, Dan.
It's like I said, a real roller coaster ride. I lost you, as we see now. What has Daniel Cascado been up to?
Yeah.
A little bit of a crash, maybe?
Yeah, this is not good. That's easily done. And that is not good in the SRA.
Is that full tyres?
I think he wasn't out of the pits, was he? I think he was actually running on a quali lap. So...
It looked very strange. It's just, as we can see now, he's coming through here, and this is this a full? No, it's not. Okay.
Are you lost already on the track now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, I thought that we were looking at the replay still, because
No.
my thing says replay, but we're clearly back to live pictures.
Yeah. Up over the hill. That's the thing. They can get tyres off the floor at that jump, so they're going to have to be a little bit careful with the car. But it is an interesting circuit. But the thing they've got to be careful of is it's very unforgiving. You hit any of them raised curbs, you're off.
Yeah.
You're done. Yeah. You've got to be
That's
clean.
the thing I do know.
Yeah, and
that's the thing I do know.
Yeah, and they've got to do it for 90 minutes.
Which is difficult. If you lose concentration once, with these curves, of course, being so high, you can end up perpendicular to the racing track, and it's not what you want.
No, and I think if we remember going back to the sprint race, we had we were on board Eric Hanoi, I believe we was. He spun, and we were still on the roll bar with Eric Hanoi, and coming hurtling round the corner at us was Dennis Kiriakopoulos, and he shot us up into the air, and we went up into the air like an absolute rocket. And unfortunately, that was it, race done. But it was quite an interesting one. Eric won the prize at the end for the highest flying SR8 Radical.
Well, Elon Musk might be investing in that. So
it was weird though. It just happened to be at it was one of them ideal camera moments where we just happened to be in the right place at the right time as Dennis Kiriakopoulos come out around the corner at us. So you know.
Yeah.
We currently don't have any times on the board at the moment, so nobody has gone and set a time as we go into the last 10 minutes of quali. These guys are clearly having issues with this track at the moment, but Nordschleife is a different entity altogether. It is not your normal circuit. It doesn't provide you with the ability to not hit the barrier. When you hit the barrier, you are pretty much done. So,
well, James, this might be a track where as you see Iwan Bremer go round. That's not what he wants to do. But this might be a track where we see drivers excel that normally, on normal tracks, do not have the opportunity or do not have the pace to quite keep up with the top guys. They might now, if they're known with this circuit, have a chance to do very, very well.
Yeah, it's all about 90 minutes of cleanliness. They've got to be clean. They've got their 2 pit stops. They've got their 3 fast repairs because they may need them here. And I'm not going to lie, it is a tricky, tricky circuit. You get one exit wrong and you're bouncing. You get one part of the circuit wrong where you're going to jump and you are in trouble. They've got to be sensible.
Yeah. And just imagine that, doing that for 24 hours.
I've done that.
Isn't it?
Well, no, did I do that? No, I didn't do that. I didn't do it.
Did you finish it with a clean car?
No, I didn't. I got to remember I didn't, because I was supposed to be doing it with the guys from the FBL, but there was an issue with my team registration. So basically, I ended up, just by pure chance, jumping in to the commentary box for the broadcast company that was doing it. They were a Dutch company, and they were doing, there was one of their drivers, there was one person doing a 24-hour broadcast. He was doing it all on his own.
Oh,
so I did it with great, well, we managed to complete it, but it was in great difficulty. He was absolutely knackered. He had people giving him food. Martin Postema was the driver. He put on the organisation. It was a charity broadcast. So Martin Postema was the charity broadcast, and the guys from the FBL entered in. So there's an outlap, 2 fast repairs, not 3, and 24x before penalty. 2 pit stops. Don't forget, fuel and tyres not required, but they do need to stop in the box, and that is where John McHutchison comes into play, because he does so well with his pit stops. Generally on his second one, where he'll just stop and not actually do anything. So there you go. Thank you very much for producer Tyler keeping me up to date. They didn't want you. No, basically there was a debate of whether or not I was going to make it. And I managed to make it, and by that time they'd registered the team, and unfortunately didn't register me as a driver as a precaution. So, you know, look, it is what it is. You know what I mean? We had some fun. I got to jump into the booth and commentated on my own for a couple of hours, so that was quite nice. For a complete random podcast that had nothing to do with whatsoever. So there you go. But we still haven't got times on the board, and we got Alphonse Ruins 6:24.47. So Alphonse there doing a 6:24.47, the fastest man on track. So
24.
6:26.47.
Okay, yeah, you said 6:24.
No. Did I?
Anyways, yeah, hey, did.
Oh, okay. Well, we've got Marin Grigic is setting purples across the board at the moment. He's going picking up shit just as he goes across the line as well. He goes into second place on a Twix 6:27.46. Buson, Win are the other two as well. They're setting the, you can see the Win is going to be the next one across the line. Let's see what Colin Win can do here. There is Colin Win in his Moving Matters livery. He goes in third place on a 6:29. Buson goes on to 6:27.
Look at David Walters, though. He's very, very quick at the moment.
Yeah, David Walters. Ty Kim has just gone across the board on 6:23, 6:75. He's jumped into pole. Let's pick up David Walters if we can. He's going to be coming across the line very shortly.
That must be a pole position lap.
Oh, it's got to be. With 5 purples. If there isn't, I will. It's been very surprised.
I'm going to see now.
Yeah,
of course he does.
8 seconds ahead of people. Damien G, evening guys. The only part of Nords I'm good at is the long straight at the back of the track. Oh, there you go, Damien. To be honest, though, mate, I think this evening you've just got to kind of survive. I think that's going to be the thing for you. Just kind of survive and stay on track, and you should. I probably can pick up some points. Because there's a lot of people that haven't got times at the moment.
Why isn't he qualifying?
Because Damien's probably doing a Damien thing and eating a takeout or something at the time before he goes into the race. He's very good at eating very late on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if I eat late when sim racing, I feel sick.
No, Damien's missed a couple of races because his takeaway hasn't turned up in time.
Oh, okay.
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 Damien's priority is clearly food first, racing second.
Yeah. He's looking after himself. That's the only thing he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. So, but Damien loves a good old food. Every time we hear him, I'm running late. Why? What are you having? Fish and chips, or I'm having a curry, or a Chinese, or something like that. So you're like, all right. You just get used to seeing Damien with some form of takeout in his hand. Bless him. There you go. So this is John McHutchison from Team Radline now. What is he going to be able to do? He's not setting purple, so we're probably not going to see it on pole. But will we see it in third place on a 6:26.47? Goes across the line. Second. I said third, he went second. All fed fish and chips earlier on, see? Take out for that. Was that home cooked, Damien, or did you take it out? Was it a takeout fish and chips?
Well, James, going back to the times, a second on this track is basically like nothing on a normal track.
No.
If you look at it.
But if you've got an 8-second gap, like Colin Wynn has on a 6:29.
Yeah.
8 seconds over an hour and a half when you're doing laps in 6.5 seconds.
It's a lot.
It will equate to quite a lot, yeah. So Colin's either got to try
it's
and
not
follow
a lap.
Well, near enough. 8 seconds, an hour and a half, 6 minutes. They're going to do 10 laps, roughly an hour. 10.
80 seconds.
Yeah, give or take.
1 minute, 20 seconds then.
Yeah. Takeout, of course. Yeah, I knew it. See, Damien G having a takeout.
Doing maths again.
Yeah, don't.
The last time I did that ended horribly.
In this in this series, I believe.
Yeah. It was the last race.
The last race, yes.
I do indeed have information about last race. You do know that.
Yeah, so give us a quick rundown of the last race as we go into the last 2 minutes of qualifying.
Well, last race began with John McHutchison on pole position, Dennis Kyriakopoulos in second. Mike Buson started in third. John, of course, with that strategy, which I definitely did not see correctly, won the race, as he always does on strategy. Anders Liliorde finished second, and Mike Bousson got home in third.
Yeah, so there we go. John McGutchinson winning the last race out at Road. It's going to be Atlanta or America. Road America. Yeah, it was Road America. I always get them two. Yeah, I always get them two mixed up. Road Atlanta and Road America when I'm talking about it.
Yeah,
so,
talking about them, yes, but it's a very different track.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Damien G, yeah, I've binned it already. So he's gone out to qualify and then he's binned it in the wall. So he's decided.
Did he purposely?
Did
he purposely bin it to eat?
Probably. He probably binned it to his fish and chips. It's probably his fish and chips started at the minute he left the pit. So therefore, he probably just chucked it in the bottom of the first corner and thought, right, I'm going to go eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. So Damien G probably purposely binned it. We're on board with Stefan Sheen. We've got no time from Stefan currently at the moment. He's dropping into the last sector of the racetrack. He's going to go left on the brake, start going down for the gears. Second gear, right-hander. Second gear, left-hander. And then his second gear round the last corner. And away we go for Stefan Sheen, who goes into 7th place, Dan. So there you go. So we've got about 10 people with set times out of 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 cars now.
Yeah. Well, with only 25 seconds to go, it's only Daniel Cascado who is on a lap, who hasn't set a lap time yet. The rest, we have, I think, we have around 8 cars not being able or just not setting a lap time.
That's because they're eating fish and chips.
Yeah. Good excuse for me.
To be honest, I'd sit and eat fish and chips as well. You know what I mean? My wife did some very hot, spicy chicken tonight that we put into a burrito with rice and mixed it all up together. So it makes an absolutely lovely dinner. But even I found this one tonight a bit...
Spicy?
Bit spicy. My son, who loves spicy food, was like, Dad, you going to eat all that? I was like, no, mate, I can't. My mouth's on fire. He's like, can I have it? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, of course.
But this is a kid who had an absolute raging hot curry one night when we were away in we went away in what they call like a mobile home that you could get off a caravan site. And we went away. We had a curry there. Blimey, this curry was hot, hot, hot. And I opened his door. Yeah, it was just generally hot. I made it wrong. And then I opened up the door to his bedroom, and boy, oh boy.
Oh, no.
The smell that come out of the bedroom was just absolutely unbelievable. My poor daughter, who was sleeping in the room, was not in I don't know what she was breathing all night, but it certainly was not oxygen. Let's put it that way.
Oh, my God. Yeah, but, mate, I do have to say, John McGutchinson, though, even though his first lap time was, or is now, around 1.3 seconds off of pole position, he is improving rapidly.
Yeah, he is. He's got 2 yellows in the middle, but he is setting 3 purples alike currently. At the moment, it's sector 1, 3, 7, and 8. There is 10 sectors on this racetrack, guys, as well. So bear with us. We will try and keep you up to date where everything is, where everybody is on circuit. You know, we've got Dan, the expert at Nordschleife, in the booth. Isn't that right, Dan?
Yeah, it is. Well, I do know about the pit exit, and I do know about the long straight, the Tunga, which is coming onto now. I led into that really smoothly.
Well done you.
But yeah, that's about it. I know like the first couple of corners, but that's the furthest I've come in 2 hours of practice. And then I decided, well, no, I'm not gonna do the 24 hours of Nords because there's no point in doing it when I'm crashing 3 corners after the pit lane.
Well, there you go. Dan's short and sweet sort of explanation of Nord there. Come out the pit lane and then I crash and then it will just, I give up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, well, it is a tricky circuit, mate. I'm not going to lie. It is absolutely, it's undoubtedly a tricky circuit. As John McHutchison comes across the line. 6:21.747 goes quicker but does not make pole. David Walters is on pole on a 6:21.587. So we'll just wait for the results to come up. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. If you are here for the first time, please hit the like button. That is the most important thing. Then give us a big subscribe. Then turn on the bells for all your notifications. And if you're watching it back, do the same thing. Thank you very much. That would be majorly much appreciated. So there we go.
James,
Yes.
is it maybe that John was or out of fuel or he slowed down too early because he lost 5/10 in the last sector?
Possibly.
Could that be the case?
It could well be. Depends on how much he went out with.
Are we not going to sing, by the way? Because of course we need to, of course, fail on this time. James.
No, mate. No.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what? I just literally, I was just so tired from the flight over to Spa and back. It's killed me. So here's the grid, guys. We've got David Waters in first place, John McHutchison in second, Ty Kim in third, Marin Grigic in fourth, Mike Busson in fifth, Alphonse Ruiz in sixth, Colin Wynn in seventh, Stefan Sheen in eighth, Sandra Capella in ninth, Hugh Simpkins in 10th, Ivan Bramer 11th, David Rolliston 12th, Damien G down in 13th, fresh from his fish and chips, Nia Gluskic in 14th, Daniele Cascado in 15th, bad day for Team Madai there, Gary Trube in 16th, Len Venn down in 17th, Christopher Beyonce, I'm going to butcher that one, and Graham Brown in 19th place. Can you say that 18th name?
Björnnes.
There we go. Got to check. Don't want to get it wrong. In 19th. So that is the grid, guys. We are waiting for these guys to appear on the grid. There's still a few out. John McHutchison, Ty Kim, Marin Grigic, Len Venn. So, and then we're going to be ready. I have got the most annoying fly buzzing around me at the moment. I wish they would just go away. They get attracted by the light of everything I've got turned on my screens on my PC, and then the next thing you know, I've got flies all over the place. So there we go. We're just waiting for second, third, and fourth to come out on the grid. John McHutchison, Ty Kim, Marin Grigic. We will bring you up a race overlay so you can be able to see what everything is going on very, very shortly. Waiting for the If by Magic. Tyler has provided us with some overlay.
He's too busy typing some mean comments about me and my maths in chat.
No, it's typing about comments on your microphone. Right, here we go, guys. Oh, this is a jump start. Who is that at the front? Pick up that front person, please, in the black car. That was David Waters. David Waters jumped the start, if I'm not mistaken, and is going to have a penalty. I would be very surprised if David Waters has not got a penalty there, but he jumped the start. He moved forward and off the line and jumped the start. So David Waters there is going to have a stop and go in the pits. Everybody makes it past, coming up to the end of section one here on the right, left, and then we're going to go right again before we go on to the first of the long straights. Marin Grigic is up 2 on a flying start. Stefan Sheen up 3. Nia Gluskic got a flying start. Oh, he's gone round! No! That is the worst place ever to crash that car. That is Stefan Sheen, if I'm not mistaken, at the back there. And that is not good. Not good from Stefan Sheen. Everybody else seems to have made it through cleanly. But boy, oh boy, is Stefan Sheen going to be in the pits there.
Definitely a code brown there for Stefan Sheen. Very, very close. Luckily that he didn't hit anyone.
Absolutely. See John McHutchison just clearing past Marin Grigic there. Hugh Simpkins down in 10th place currently. He has got Daniele. Oh, contact with Cascado. That was contact with Cascado. If we go on Cascado's nose, you will see the contact with Hugh Simpkins, and that is going to be a killer on this track. On the nose with Cascado, I can guarantee if he's coming into the right-hander, there has been some form of contact there, and away Hughes goes. Bye-bye, Hughes Simpkins, unfortunately. That is it. There is a Hughes car, but that is also, who is that in front of Hughes? David Rolliston.
No.
Oh, no. Oh! Rollo was hit by Simpkins. Simpkins trying to get the car back or away to the grid, the pits. And they're both in there now. You, Simpkins and David Rollison, they do have fast repairs. Let's hope they turn it on. The slight problem with that is they've got about a 9-minute tow. So here is Len Venn. What has he been up to off the start here? There was a jump further up as well with David Walters. David Rollison come out of the pits as well. We didn't even go onto the grid. It was David Walters on the full start, I believe, as well. So we can get 2 minutes and have a look back at that. But at the moment, Nia Gluskic is up 7 places to 7th. John McHutchinson has got past. David Walters is in the pits. David Walters has crashed. Oh, no. Oh,
first lap.
Yeah, you watch. He's going to not brake, and he's going to go straight on into the barrier. Route, no, too much.
Oh, no.
Told you, not brake and straight into the barrier. He did not know where he was on track at that point. I can guarantee David Walters thought he was somewhere else. 9-minute tow. That's the problem. Them guys are going to have a 9-minute at least towing back to that pit before they can activate that fast repair. Lucky enough, though, they should only be about a lap and a half down because obviously it's such a long lap here. But they're still going to have to wait. So, unfortunately for them guys, it's not going to be good. David Walters, Hugh Simpkins, David Rollison, all in the pits. And Rollo come out of the pit lane. He didn't even start on the grid and got tagged by Hugh Simpkins, who was trying to get that racing team Denkamp car back to the pits after having an incident there as well. So, unfortunately for them guys. Here is Cascado now. He's up beside Sandra Cabela. They've got to play gentlemanly, otherwise this could go wrong. As they go up around the left, then they're going to go to the right. Drop into that little bit of a dip. Right-hander, you want to keep the inside curve as tight as you can. On the exit, they go. So this is on board with Cascado now. Oh, Sandro took a bit of a curve there. He had to try and check up. He's been tagged already. Now, look at that back of that radical, Dan. Does not look straight. There was Stefan Sheen going round, and here comes everybody else on circuit, and they've all just managed to avoid Stefan Sheen. We've got an information on David Walters. He says his brakes failed. Could it possibly have his brakes failed or not? Let's see there. It seems to have lost Dan. What is happening with Dan Beebles? Are you still here, Dan?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You're back.
Yes, I am. Yeah. Well, I want to come back to the incident, like I said, between David Ralston and Joe Simpkins.
Yep.
Because, well, who do you think is at fault there? Because for me, it looks like, of course, Joost was trying to keep a hand on the car, but it's the job for the driver who's in the damaged car to keep out of the way for everyone, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do.
What's your view on that?
As well, just having a look at a replay of Niad as he drops down into the mini carousel, up over the curb. Oh!
Easily done.
That's the importance of staying in that carousel drop. They've got to stay in that. As we can see, Colin Wynn and Ivan Bramer going side by side. Ivan's pulled out. He's got if they take this section in 2 wide, I can guarantee one of them is sitting there playing, please back out, because this section 2 wide is not easy, especially on first laps. Colin's got to hug that left hand, give him as much room as possible to allow Ivan through, and then try and come back at him here. Hopefully left the same amount of gentlemanly room that he left, and Ivan Bramer gets the job done and currently up into 4th place. Yes, I somehow feel, Colin's going to go up into turn 1.
Ooh, touch.
Oh, Ivan there, he was well beside you. That should have been I'm not quite sure why that turn would have even happened, because Ivan Bramer is a very good driver. He's got very good experience, and he does use a spotter. But Colin Wynn was well beside you at that point, young sir. Yes, it technically should be Hugh Simpkins' position, his job, to keep that car out the way. So generally, yeah, you would look at you Simpkins to blame because that car probably should have been left well out of the way there. Some of the guys go down a lap. I think David Rolliston, if I'm not mistaken, may have already been out. I have to check and see if David Rolliston is even.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's out. He's out at the moment, I think.
Out or out on the.
He's out, I think. He's not in the session anymore.
No, he's out, unfortunately. Ty Kim looks like he's another one that has come foul and is also out as well. Was there an incident from Ty Kim?
Yeah, I haven't seen one. He was looking quick in qualifying, wasn't he?
Yeah, I haven't seen one from them, so I'm not quite sure what happened to Kim there. So Ivan got out of shape in the last corner, which has led to this situation with Colin Wynn being in front of him at the moment. They're going to be hard on the brakes here. I know Ivan, and he's driven this track hundreds of times, that he knows the track like the back of his hand. So he should be able to manage at some point to try and get past and know his places when he can and get past Colin Wynn. We think currently at the moment Ty Kim did not grid up, so maybe he had some hardware failure beforehand. So we believe Ty Kim did not grid up. Oh, here's Damien G, full of fish and chips. What has he been up to? No, get on the brakes, get on the brakes!
Wait. Oh! Get out of the wall there, well.
That would have been a try and keep that car as straight as possible for Damien G. So I can guarantee Damien in that car would have been having a big old brown moment. So there you go. Damien G there as well, managing to just survive in that radical. We've got about, believe it or not, we've still got an hour and 20 left of racing. We've got Colin Wynn and Ivan Bramer close together. Cascado's brought his times down into within a second. Oh, there's dropped back out at the moment. So Sandro was closing down, but is now unfortunately dropped back out to a second. This is your closest battle. We've got the two Hopping Rabbits team closing down all over the moving matters of Colin Wynn here tonight. Alphonse Ruiz is looking racy as well. There's got to be gentlemanly space left by the two in front. Oh, this could go wrong here, Dan. I'm not going to tempt fate, but it could go wrong.
It's a track, of course, with 154 corners. They come thick and fast at some point, and sometimes you have a straight, like here. You could put it alongside him, but the thing is, you don't want to touch a curb here, so going side by side has to be done purely on the grey stuff.
Yeah, you can't. Curbs, grass, game over. That's the way you got to look at this track at the moment.
Like you can see from the onboard now, if you look to the car ahead, which is Ivan Bramer, you can see that some of the curbs are just half as tall as the tire is. Ivan Bramer taking a very interesting line through the carousel, though.
Yeah, absolutely. So they've got to try and keep the car on the black stuff. I know. I'm sorry. I was just to keep it updated. I was a little bit missed there. There was an update from somebody in the Discord for a message there. David Rolliston is out and is not happy. That's all we shall clarify from that message currently as well. So David Rolliston is out unfortunately tonight, but is not happy about the situation. So that could be a little bit of a comeback on that one. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that, and hopefully that won't materialise into anything. So.
Well, what you see normally is that leagues say, if you're damaged, it's your responsibility. As you look at Nia Glusic, what have you been up to already with a bent right of that car? Just going a little bit wide there.
No, I think he let that through.
Yeah, could also be. But some leagues just have a rule that if you have a damaged car, and it damaged this much that you have to drive it back to the pit lane, but the steering wheel is not straight anymore, it's your job to keep it out of the way of everyone. If you can't, you should have towed back to the pit lane, and it's your responsibility to keep it out of the way of everyone and not crash anyone. So I get why maybe David is a bit angry about that.
Yeah, I kind of would be as well. I don't know how much control Used had over that car, though. I've got to be honest. You know, there was.
Well, how close did it happen after that he crashed? It's what is my question.
Well, we'll have a look back now, but Ivan Bramer, Colin Wynn going side by side down the main straight, long back straight at the back. Again, this time they've swapped sides. Colin was on the left last time. This time it's Ivan Bramer on the left. If we can jump forward to the battle, please, Mr. Producer. There we go. There is Ivan Bramer down on the left-hand side. Colin Wynn on the right. This is where the gentlemanly agreement's got to come in there. They're going to leave each other room. Ivan's just got to run a slightly different line. Oh, boys. And that's Colin Wynn surviving another lap in front of Ivan Bramer and being in 4th place there. So there we go. Mike Buson has closed up a little bit of a gap to Marin Grigic. He's down nearly to half a second as well. So them guys will be entering onto the straight. So this could get spicy as Mike looks at closing up. But all the while, we've got John McHutchinson. Well, he's gone. He's down the road. He's just gone and had his cup of tea, come back, and he's still driving the car. As we can see, Niad in the pits, Gary Truby in the pits. This was an early one. So let's see what happens. See if these guys, you know, I've not seen anyone do the John McHutchinson pit stop yet.
No. Well, maybe these pit stops are for some quick repairs.
Well, they've got fast repairs, haven't they?
Yeah. So fast repairs they will use at those pit stops.
Yeah.
That's maybe why they are taking it so early, because the damage is losing them a little bit too much. But yeah, I think now that John McHutchison is clear of David Walters, he can now push on, because them two were in the league of their own in qualifying as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So John McHutchison, Damien G is in the pits. What have you been up to, Damien G? Going into the last literally sections, left-hander on the brakes, Damien. Stop. Take it to the right. There's the pit lane entry. Well done.
Very close.
I would have done the same thing, to be fair, if I had sat it there, mate. You're right next to the pits. Why not?
So that's why he was in the pit lane.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be why. But he managed to get it into the pits, so that was always good. It should take his fast repair. If not, take some fuel on board as well. Whether or not looking at changing tyres and going again, so it's going to be an interesting one. But this little freeway battle, I can guarantee you now, Alphonse Ruiz is probably having kittens here, because I reckon he's looking visually quicker, and I reckon he could probably quite easily get past Ivan Bramer here. But it's Colin Wynn who's providing the excellent defending driving currently at the moment, is leaving Ivan Bramer and Alphonse Ruiz nowhere to go. A little bit of a lock-up going in to the left-hander there, as this guy's going to drop down the hill and then going to go right. They've got to stay off the right-hand side curb. Don't go up there. It's not any good for your car. Well done.
Can you lean against it, though? Of course, you have done some laps. Can you lean against the curb?
You can, but you've got to. It's almost like once you go onto that curb, you've got to keep it straight, because if you start trying to turn off it, you could be in trouble and it could bounce the car. So, you know, these radicals are quite prone to being up in the air at this point. So, you know, they've got to be careful. That drop down front doesn't do this car any good, because as soon as you go into anything or hit anything, the car instantly goes up over the hill to get over it, which therefore takes the front two wheels off the tarmac.
Yeah.
Oh, this has got to be gentlemanly here. Ivan Bramer, Colin Wynn, side by side, going up the long. Whoa! Colin's had to back off. That's put Alphonse Ruiz in the show as well. Oh, Colin Wynn lost 2 positions. And that was all because he got the frighteners put up him by Ivan Bramer at that specific point. Ivan just let that car run over to the left a little bit, got Colin on the brakes, and he was done. You'll see it go on the left-hand side. There we go. There is Ivan there. You'll see him come to the left of us in a minute. There. Ooh. gave Colin a little bit of a scary moment. He's slowed down, and here comes Alphonse Ruiz on the inside for the Hopping Rabbits team, and it's job done. 2 for 1. Colin did the right thing.
Yeah, I agree. He opened up the corner E1 and then basically made Colin go as narrow as possible, so he could have the better exit, of course.
Yeah, unfortunately for Colin, after he left him open to when he lifted off, that Alphonse is going to come and take it as well. Now, I can guarantee from Colin's point of view at the moment, he knows that he's not as quick as these two guys, but he will try his hardest to try and stay with them, to keep that gap down. If he can keep hold of him at the back straight. Oh no.
Whoa.
No. Sandra Cabela there as well. I believe that's car number 5. I think that's actually one of the Madai boys. Cascado just cleared Sandro Capella, so that's Cascado up now into 7th place. So here we go. This is what we were talking about. Colin Wynn will try and stay with them for the draft. He's got to try and stay with them for the draft.
He's got to.
Yeah. But Alphonse did pop out very early out of that mini carousel, so yeah.
Well, that carousel, it's either you take, as we see now, Christopher Björknes. What has he been up to? Touching the grass on the right-hand side of the curb. Oh, neither of them.
No. Oh.
Too early on throttle there, I think that was.
Yeah. Too early on the throttle.
But like I said, it's you either take the line around the outside or you stay in it. You can't go in it and then halfway through the carousel jump out of it.
No, you got to be in it till the end.
Bottom out.
Colin's got past Alphonse Ruiz here on the straightaway.
Well, doesn't he want to stick behind, or does he just want to work together with Ruiz to try and catch up to Bremer?
Yeah, you try and tell a racer to let somebody through.
Well, at the end of the day, if I was him, and of course I knew that towing each other along and just changing positions would be faster, then I would do it, because faster equals more positions in the end, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, I'll bring in, it's a Graham Brown here. Didn't get a notification that Graham had added an incident coming into the mini carousel before the end sector.
Also into the wall, like we see with many incidents, the wall's very close to the side of the racing track.
Yep, there is Graham Brown in the pits now. So Graham's in the pits, taking his stop, and away, he should be away, he goes very shortly. But we go back to the Colin Wynn, Alphonse Ruiz battle. Here we are again. Alphonse in his very bright green helmet there, or teal or mint or whatever colour you would like to call it. But he's looking very radiant this evening, isn't he? You can't really miss him in a dark alley.
Yeah. Well, he's taking his time with Colin Wynn ahead of him.
Yeah.
He knows that when the Dottinger Höhe comes up, he, with this gap, goes past him like a missile. So there's nothing to worry for him at this point in the race.
Yeah. That's the thing with these guys, is they're all born and bred sim racers, if that makes an ounce of sense. And I know that Alphonse will seize the opportunity as soon as Colin leaves the door open. It's going to be done. But this is the battle with Marin Grigic and Mike Bousson currently on track. So there you go. So Mike Bousson chasing down Marin Grigic currently down.
Yeah, well, Ivan Bremer at the start lost quite some positions actually, if I look at it. But he's fighting back properly now, and 7 positions up is not too bad for him, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Any position gain is a good gain, and you know, here is Alphonse and Colin still nose to tail. I'll tell you what, Alphonse is either having kittens or he really needs to be pushing past this at the moment, because he can see his teammate slowly getting off down the road, and yeah, he's not going to be too happy at the moment.
Well, it looked like once Alphonse was ahead of Colin, that the gap to Iwan Bremer was still increasing. So it might increase a little bit slower, but although it seems like with it so Alphonse can keep up, Colin Wynn is at the moment creating a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, Colin's opening up a little bit of a gap, but we are on a straight, so a long section of track that curls left and right, and generally it's full flat, so Alphonse may be able to close the gap on Colin, but it's whether or not Colin can close the gap on Ivan Bremer in front of him, which is going to be an interesting scenario. We're just coming up to about the hour mark, Dan, currently at the moment, and we see Sandro Capella.
Already half an hour in.
Yeah, half an hour in. Oh, no. Oh, boy,
these
oh,
cars
boy,
are so
boy.
prone to damage.
These cars are insanely flimsy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they've just got to be so careful. And I think this has got to be the main thing of getting to the end of this race. I think that would be the main goal. I think I would look at getting. Just being able to keep to the end of the race. And Gary Truby using his sensible brain now moves out of the way. That is, I believe, one of the Medar guys has just gone out past him. So there you go, Gary Truby doing the right thing and just literally moving out of the way. Well, that's Devin Sheen. It might have actually been coming back at him.
Yeah, that could be the case. Well, Alphonse Ruiz though now again 2 tenths behind Colin Wynn, but John McHutchison, he had the gap at the beginning, so for him it's now just managing, I think, and limiting the risk he's taking around every turn.
He's got a 10-second gap. There's no need for him not to. There's no need for him to take chances.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? He might as well just sit back and chill out, because at the end of the day, he's got the time. He's got the time to do it, so he's going to have to... The problem will be now is whether or not John can keep the concentration levels up constantly. Because it's a big ask, an hour driving literally on your own.
Well, especially on this straight, once you get to the next corner, you're almost half a minute to 40 seconds around that time further. And to keep your concentration going into the next corner, which will be left-hander and then left-right up the hill, will be difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just scary, John. I think, you know, Tyler has pointed out to me that it just is scary watching John drive, because it's so, he always seems to be on the edge, and I think that's what probably makes him a good racing driver, because he can drive this radical on the edge. Oh, as we switch back, as Alphonse Ruiz has gone past Colin Wynn, flash past us there, so there you go.
Almost look. Oh,
Colin's in the pits. An hour to go, so Colin's in the pits. If we can go back to on board with John Hutchinson, I was quite enjoying that. If you have a look at John's driving, he is so on edge.
Yeah. All the time, every corner.
Absolutely.
But he doesn't need to be, actually.
You tell a racing driver to not drive at full capacity.
Well, this is, James, you have to remember, an endurance race. I've just come out of a 24 hours of Spa, and you always leave 5% on the table. Otherwise, you're not going to make it to the end.
No. Do you know what, right? In an hour and a half race, if I'm not coming out of this rig, absolutely sweating, leaving it all on my chair, I'll be disappointed with myself. In a 24 hour, if I've not given it all in my stints, and that's, you can't leave anything on the table. You leave anything on the table, Dan, that could have been your third place if you spun out.
Yes.
You know,
Technically, it was.
you know what I mean? Did you take it easy in that specific corner? Did you do something different? Did you, you know, lift off and think, I'll get him at the next one? Not take that opportunity, not take that chance, and the result was you spinning.
Let me tell you, now I said that, I'm realizing the last 2 hours and 40 minutes, I was on edge as well the whole time. So, yeah, it's difficult. It's when you come to the end of the race, of course, especially like something like that. But an hour and a half, it's like you said, quite short indeed. So, being on the edge is something you have to do all the time. And now I see why watching John McHutchinson is wow. I almost thought he lost it there.
Yeah, and this is what we were saying about John always looks on the edge. But he's also so confident with that SR8. I think that's the thing. When we change over to the SR10 in the near future for the leagues, I think it's John is a regular radical driver, and he knows his cars, and you know what he does with the SR8 is just incredible, absolutely incredible.
Well, if it's a car that is well very suited to your driving style, then you can be very, very fast in a car like this.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Once you get used to the car, you know, he is 5K for a reason. Do you know what I mean? If I can, let's have a look and see if he's gained any. Well, he's 6.5, so. You know.
Well, we've had a discussion about this during the 24s, my team and I. It's basically I'm 2.1 now.
Nice.
And I was not the slowest driver of the team. I was almost as fast as someone who's 3K I rating. The thing with I rating is, I think, it's the I rating is just your raw pace. Oh, that is not the line you want to be taking there, Mr. John McHutchison. But your outright pace can be about as quick as one of the fastest drivers. It's just, it doesn't come as easy. You have to put in much more time.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree with you. And at the end of the day, people expect to be jumping on, you know, into the car and away you go. I will say, can we go down to the Graham Brown down in 11th place, please? Graham Brown. There is Graham Brown. He has climbed up to the back of Niad Gluskic, as these guys are at the very northern part of the circuit. Oh, Niad just lets him through. So it didn't put up much of a fight, and that's Graham Brown. Graham Brown through there. So, yeah. I thought there was going to be more of a fight there. As we've got David Walters trying to come back through the field. He is currently in 15th place. Half a lap down on everybody else.
Yeah, I think that was Damien G letting David Walters pass there.
That's because Damien's dragging his fish and chips with him, bless him.
Yeah.
I do love the fact that Damien G does always eat before he gets on the broadcast. It just makes me laugh. Before he gets into the league, he's always eating.
Well, drivers have certain rituals they're doing before every start of a race. Like we see Gasly always doing, the thing he basically always does, pointing a finger up to the sky and then touching the asphalt. But drivers have certain rituals. So might that be eating fish and chips for Damien G?
Maybe. I think we could just say it's maybe eat and takeaway in general.
Yeah,
I don't think it's always been
just eating, just eating.
Tyler says his is crashing multiple times in practice. Really gets me ready to crash in the race. Well, that's one way of looking at the endurance event, Tyler. You know, you must have done well there. So
agree.
Yeah, I think you've got to try and get comfortable in a car in a practice session, especially with something like the 24-hour or even this. I do like the leagues to give you a good hour or more practice because it does take me that long to probably get, you know, the car, get the feel for the car. So there you go.
At a normal track.
Yeah, at a normal track. On Nords, I'd want about an hour and a half, if not more.
Mate, I want a whole day.
once you get used to Nords, you'll find John McHutchison coming into the pits here. We're about 57 minutes remaining on the clock. Tyler Kreis says, I did crash brilliantly. Mike Buson is in the pits. Grigic is in the pits as well. So Maren Grigic there in the pits. Mike Buson in the pits. Ivan Bramer going in. That was Alphonse Ruiz going in. Is Daniele Cascado. I do wonder if Cascado's on a different... Nope, he's in as well. Sergeant Capella. Maybe this is the time. Maybe this is when they've run out of fuel.
Yeah.
Of the starting fuel, because don't forget the starting fuel is only the fixed setup fuel. So
yeah. Well, you know what the thing is, and that is what I'm thinking now. And I've thought a lot of things, but I do think I'm right with this one. This lap is 20 plus kilometers long. So if you have 19 kilometers on a normal track, that would be good for another around 3 or 4 laps. On this track, it's just not enough. You need to pit already. So although you have 90 liters in the tank, which is quite a lot, so you could drive on a normal track another maybe 7 to 8 minutes. Here, you already have to pit.
Now, just been made aware that John McHutchison's normal pit stop time is plus a minute. This time, it's 43.4. So,
well, Daniele Cascado now, let me quickly check. Am I right with that? No, it's Maren Grigic. I will pronounce that correctly.
was in there for about a minute.
Yeah, so might he have done John's strategy right now?
Well, the thing is, what I'm not getting with these guys is they're seeing that John's strategy kind of, in a weird, bizarre way, works if you're on the pace of John. But will it work if you're not on the pace of John and you're on the pace of the guy, you know, your own pace? Will it work for you what works for John? Do you get what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying, or am I just waffling on here?
No, so what you're saying is you need alien speed to make that strategy work.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Because it does seem on paper like a ridiculous strategy. Because you're heavier than everyone else.
But he makes it work.
But for John, that just equals the playing field for him.
Yeah, well, we're back on board with John now. Double right-hander, then we're going to be on the brakes. He's got to go right. He's going to be looking just about now. Down through the gears he goes. Second. Keeping the car. Don't want to get too much wheel spin coming out of that corner. Otherwise, you're going to be off. It's going to be horrible. As he goes around now, third gear. Double left, up the off-camber right. Third again. And here we go on the little run down to a fast left-handed. You can take flat. No need to lift, just keep it to the inside. On the brakes, just at the asphalt, change there. There we go. And third gear again for John McHutchison. Running all the way up long. So, you know, I think that's the thing. Not everybody takes the same lines that John does. Not everybody does the same thing that John does. Not everybody drives the same pace that John does. So would John's strategy work for them?
Yeah, like I said, it's on paper, it does look like a very weird strategy. And it's very weird to make it work. But for some reason, and it might just be John being John, but he might be the only one to make that strategy work. But remember, it's not about being first with that strategy. If you can gain positions with that strategy, I think, in my eyes, the strategy has still worked.
Maybe. The only weird thing is we haven't got Dennis Kiriakopoulos tonight. I wonder where Dennis is.
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
I haven't seen anything of Dennis. Maybe we'll send producer Tyler on a little bit of a mission to try and find out where Mr. Kiriakopoulos is this evening. I like this track. Oh, Daniele Cascado did not like that track at that specific brown pant moment that we've just had coming out of the corner before the carousel. I'll tell you that much. I do like Nords. It's a tough track, but see, this is the problem with officials, and it drives me insane, is I wish the people that were slow stop trying to fight with the people that are fast. If you are slow and you don't know Nords, please move your car over. I know we're in a race, but you're going to wreck and you're going to cause us problems.
Yes, I agree with that, because this track, if you don't know it, it's and you're pushing into a corner. David Walters might not be the one to not know the track, but it could well be a case that with maybe two similar sceneries and just two similar parts of the track looking alike, that you just forget where you are and just shoot straight on into a corner. And of course, the guy behind you is trying to overtake you, who does know the track, might get caught up in that incident.
That's the thing. That's the thing with Nords, and I think if people in chat agree with me as well, don't forget, if you are here for the first time, please subscribe, thumbs up, and turn on the bells for notification. This is the thing with the Nords track, right? I literally, I can probably say that I do love this track, but the driving ability of the people in officials in any car that is on this track, whether it be a Radical, a GT3, a MX-5, anything that's on this track, you know, is just crazy, because they're not always fast. And, you know, just please move out the way. The James Parfitt learning information. Ooh, Ivan, oh no! Ivan Bramer putting it into the barrier from third place. Please just move your car out the way or go and practice the circuit, because I tell you what, if you are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 seconds slower, you know you need to get a car out the way. And it's the people that try and fight for a position that just confuses me, because it just absolutely wrecks. That is Graham Brown again. We'll have another look at that. It's just going to be overtaken by Nia Gluskic there and Stefan Sheen.
That car not looking happy.
No, where is he? On track, mini carousel. He bounces out over the carousel early. Yep.
Oh no. Yeah, like we said, very easy to do that.
Daniele Cascado has crashed as well, apparently, according to the wonderful world of the timing tower, if that's appearing up on your screen. But clearly, did he or did he not? As he's coming into the last sector, we're going to go left, right, left again. He's looking a little bit slidey, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, he kept it out of any wall, luckily.
Yeah, he kept it out of the wall, but just unfortunately spun it, and that allowed Marin Grigic back through. So, Marin Grigic, it looks like his strategy is making it work at the moment, because he's back up into 4th place. If he, of course, he has fuel to the end. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, I won now. That happened at a moment where he really couldn't use a crash, because he had just been into the pit lane. So he is now off strategy because he had to take a fast repair.
Oh. Poor Ivan
Bremer. I think he just came out of the pit lane. Or am I hallucinating now? I think I saw him come out of the pit lane.
Right, well, we'll get the producer on that one. Let's have a look. Right, so here goes Ivan out of the pit lane. He does his stop. Away we go.
Yeah. And his car is looking fresh again. Huh. So he did take a fast repair, and he had to make an extra stop for that.
Oh, well, there you go. Poor Ivan Bramer there. But he's back out on track. He's still in 8th place. 2 places behind his 6th place teammate, Alphonse Ruiz. And it's good to see Sandro Capella having a good race. Stay off him, though, Mr. Producer, because he might all go to pot. So I did say to him that we would try and not cover Sandro this week, because he gets, you know, he's had a bit of a bad few broadcast races of Sandro Capella. So we said we'd try and not cover him as much as we can. We've got 48 minutes remaining. So let's hope that...
Is he camera shy?
Sorry?
Is he camera shy?
Sandro?
Yes.
No, he just gets nervous in the broadcast.
How does he know he's being shown on the broadcast?
Well, how did Daniele Cascado know? But Daniele Cascado's just put it in the wall.
He was in P5, I think.
No, it's not going to be unless he can keep that car out there. But Sergeant Capella is going to come around now and have a good old bite of the cherry at Daniele Cascado. We'll take a look back at that. Let's see how this one materialises first.
Car looks fine though, so it looks like
it's not. It's got a bent rear wing.
Yeah, but it already had that.
No, I don't think it did. He went into the pit stop. Why would it have not got it sorted out?
Well, is it hampering him in any way?
Look, it's wing straight.
Yes, it did. Yes, you were correct.
Thank you very much. Oh,
Unlucky.
curbs and a big bounce off the curb. Told you, got to try and keep that car off that curves there, because otherwise it's going to be in trouble. But here is Mia Gluskic. He is up into 10th place. Cascado and Capella are. Oh, whoa! No, Stefan, stay off. Oh. I was going to say, poor Stefan Sheen there. That just would have been disastrous. Daniele Cascado and Nia Gluskic at exactly the same time for exactly the same team going into the barrier. How unusual was that?
Well, you could say it was planned.
Well, you could say, but can you imagine that? Right, guys, on lap 7 with 46 minutes remaining, go and stick it into the barrier. Now, the interesting thing, though, it could be as well, is they could have both, they could both be cooling the tyres down like we've recently seen with this whole, grass ditching. But I tell you what, there's a brave man to want to stick this radical on the grass at Nords.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do agree with that. Well, it's a track that just does not allow you to get on the grass without punishing you.
No, you got a little bit here, look, but try to keep the grass, get it off there. No, not going to happen. Thank you so much if you have just joined us in chat. Much appreciated. I am James Parfitt, and I've got Dan Peoples in the booth with us here from JBB Broadcasting and producer Tyler Oldham in the background. So thank you so much for joining us. If you can, hit the thumbs up button, turn on the bells for notification, and hit the subscribe. That would be absolutely incredible. We are here at Nords, 45 minutes remaining of an hour and a half race. We are on lap 7. So lap 7 there tonight, as we can see. Oh no. See, this is my fear. We talk about Sandro, and then something dreadful happens, like this.
Oh my goodness, he got away with that one.
He got away with that one. I tell you what, Sergeant Gabella there, literally surviving Nords. I bet you any money he is sweating as we go back up front for John McHutchison, 6:22.099. Fastest man on track, 23 seconds gap. That's just unbelievable. Producer Tyler just messaged me in the background and said, I'm going off Sandro now. I can feel the jinx happening already. Yeah, that's why we do not cover Sandro Capella too much in the broadcast. He's not had good broadcasted races, so we promised we would try and stay off him for this one to allow him to have a good race. And currently he's going along nicely in 7th place, so well done to you, Mr. Capella. So, what do we reckon second pit stops? It's got to be taken 10 minutes before the end of the race, Dan, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, they could go 30 minutes on the standard setup fuel. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much is in there, but I think it's around half a tank.
Yeah, I believe so. It's 3 laps of Nords, isn't it? So you're going to have, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so that means that, of course, they can do 6 laps on a full tank. Mm-hmm. So they are coming towards another pit stop then.
Well,
so next lap might be another pit stop, or the lap after.
It's good, yeah. Depends. John normally runs for about near enough 55 minutes on a tank of fuel. We don't think he's fueled to the end. However, Maren Grigic may have done. But Nords is a long old track to be trying to get fuel for. As we can see Len Venn here. This is Gary Truby on the right-hand side of your screen. And Len on the left. Well, they've swapped sides now, which is always typical when you're talking about it in that way. These guys are looking to go in side by side down the long back straight here at the Nordschleife circuit. Under the bridge we're going to be going. Are they going to be taking this too wide? Are they going to be conservative? Both men seem to be backing off, which seems a little bit bizarre. Gary Truby goes in front of Len Ben there. So Gary Truby and Len Ben are battling currently for 11th and 12th on track tonight. So there we go. Let's see how this one materializes. Gary looked like he got that last sector a little bit more hooked up than Len.
Well, as you see now, Nihad Glusses into the pit lane. Gary Truby, I thought for a second there that was Sandro Capeller.
Do you know what's worse? It was at that point I said he looked like he got the last sector more hooked up than Len. And this happens.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, I'm going to blame that on you then.
Oh, do you know what? This is just... well, this is just unbelievable, I think.
Yeah.
You can't just blame me. This commentator's cursing can't be real. Can't be real. It can't be a thing.
It is.
It can't be. There's no logic to it. There's no physical logic in the fact that the commentators curse. Let us know in chat. If you are here and you want to have any conversations with us, let us know. Do we feel the commentators curse is real, right? And if so, how? Let me tell me how, because I'm still confused how this could possibly be real.
Well, at the end of the day, you're telling to basically everyone that they're doing well, that they're doing this good and that good. And at some point, you're telling that someone is doing something good, and then something, of course, happens to them. So, to be honest, I don't think it's real, but it's just the fact that we are complimenting everyone that much.
Right, well, I've started a poll up in chat, so there you go. That's the philosophy. Start the poll and let's see if you click on it, yes or no, and is the commentator's curse real?
Oh, Gary Truby, I think it now is. I think we have to vote for yes here. That is floor damage, as you can see on the side of the car, on the right-hand side. And floor damage, as we know, James, is, for most of the times, not repairable without a fast repair.
Yeah. Can we come off Gary Truby now, please? I'm scared. Pick up, go, I don't know. Yeah, go back on board with John. John seems to not have that issue. I don't know, mate. I'm lost.
John is just too quick.
Look at the way he's taking this. 5th gear.
4th.
He was in 5th going around that section. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. This man is just, for some reason, fast at every track they drive at. It's unbelievable.
He's just not on the planet. Is it just in a different realm? He's cut from a different realm, is John McHutchinson. Some say he poops out blue M&Ms. Just like to point that out to you.
Oh, well, yeah, that... I want to have that. I would put him on... I would put him on my table and just... Oh, okay. Okay, we're not gonna go into detail here. Anyways,
it's like a scene out of Peter Rabbit, the film, where he does it on the bonnet. Say you poop candy. Yeah, you know what I mean. Oh, what has Damien G been up to? He's just looked like he's had a bit of a moment there for poor Damien G. Oh, it's the right-hander up over the hill, right-hander. Gonna run it wide. Yeah.
Oh no, that's a very weird one. Because that one, James, is normally just pedal to the metal.
Yeah, I did say when we were talking about the track guide of it, though, they've got to be looking at even whether or not they're going to be lifting up off the hill to try and get the car settled again before they bang back on the throttle. So, yeah, poor Damien G.
It was a hard hit as well.
Yeah, he looked like he was just sort of getting going, and he's back in the pits now. If he's jumped to the pits, that is a long old... No. Yes, because he crashed again not long after. So Damien G jumped to the pits. He might as well go and get a cup of tea because he's going to be in there for at least 8 minutes being in the tow.
So more fishing chips.
More fishing chips for Damien G. Maybe he didn't eat enough. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe he didn't eat enough fish and chips. But if you have just joined us, guys, the poll is in chat. Is the commentator's curse real? Let me know what you think. I'm in debate. I don't think it is. Don't forget as well to hit the thumbs up, turn on the bells for notifications, and give the big old subscribe there as well. This is the second incident of Damien G. I think he bins his car.
No, I think he just parks it here and just jumps the pits.
Maybe it was a different way of calling your tyres.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I agree.
Who knows?
Ivan Bremer, though, overtaking Daniele Cascardo up the inside, and I don't think Daniele is going to fight that one. Or is he?
Yeah.
They're still side by side. Gap between them, 100th of a second, 7 thousandths. They're pretty much side by side, alongside each other, going into the last sequence of corners. Very tricky to keep it side by side, and thus Daniele Cascardo does take a lift.
Yeah, he backed out well and truly there. He literally backed out of that one. He did not want to take that opportunity to try and run side by side. It's so difficult there. And it's difficult because of the left-hander. As you come over, you go drop down through the base of the bowl, up onto the top. The left-hander, if that inside curb, if that car hits that inside curb, you're both out. That's it. So you've got to make a choice before that moment. You can run side by side, but that car on the outside has got to take that inside curb with, well, he's just got to try and stay off it, and the room's got to be left, because otherwise, game over.
Yeah, oh, getting a big slide on there as he won. But he caught up around 2.5 seconds in half a lap to Daniele Cascardo. So I think it was the sensible decision from him there to kind of let him pass, because E1 has been the quicker leading up to this point.
Absolutely. We are coming up in game time. Will appear up on your screen very shortly. We are getting a little bit dropping down on the dark. So in game time is 9:20. 35 minutes remaining. 25 degrees track temperature. And are we going to see the dark of Nords? That's going to be the question. The darkness of Nords, the green hell. Oh, is he going to be providing monsters for these cars in the next 15 to 20 minutes or so as these guys racing around? Currently on lap 9, Ivan Bremer and Daniele Cascardo here are still out on track, literally about 0.8 seconds away from each other at the moment. Bjartnes is in the pits as well. Nia Gluskik's back in the pits as well. So Nia there in the pits. It should be his second stop if he can fill that car up till the end. And then that should be the end of his pit stops. Damien G still in there as well. Gary Truby has come up, had a big old incident as well. He's flagged up as he's just crashed right after his teammate Damien G had the incident as well. So maybe we can have a look back and see Damien, Gary Truby there having a little bit of a nightmare. 55, 56, 52. So there we go. Here's Gary Truby up over the hill, right-hander. He manages to hold it, so it'd be interesting to see where they're saying that he had this incident from.
Might just be the case that he went a little bit off track.
Maybe, but no, there you go. Nothing seems to be running. We're about 20 seconds before the initial impact time of the incident. Nope, nothing at all. Oh well, maybe that's just the timing software having a bit of a nightmare there. So there you go. But we've got back up with Ivan Bremer and Daniele Cascardo, the closest men on track. You can see the pit stops on the left-hand side. Bremer's at 2, Brown's at 2, Bjartnes is at 2. Gluskik 3. Oh! Oh, he's popped out early. Oh, no, this is going to put them side by side as they're racing up the hill to the left hand. Oh, Cascado. Oh, Cascado did what Bremer did to win. He put the frighteners up him and had to, Bremer had to slow the SR8 down.
Yeah. Well, very smart driving once again by Daniele Cascado. Oh, they're both on edge now. If they were pushing before, they're definitely doing that now.
Yeah, absolutely. As well.
Well, the thing that I'm looking at, is they're now side by side once again. And Ivan Bremer, once again, has the advantage over Daniele Cascado. Might Ivan have made a mistake and that allowed Daniele through, because he did seem to have quite the run before they actually got to the corner.
Yeah, it's a tough one on this circuit, isn't it, really? Do you know what I mean?
Mistakes are easily made, that's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Mistakes are easily made, and at Nordschleife as well, one mistake, as we've seen, boom, race over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, luckily you do have the fast repairs here, which, especially at this track. Oh, we don't bring him off into the barrier, and that is not what he would have wanted. And like I said, they do have fast repairs, but that is a lot of time lost coming onto the Dottinger Höhe. A lot of time lost for Ivan Bremer once again.
Oh, and Gary Truby.
Well, he was doing well, but since he's crashed once, it's really going downhill, almost going into the wall again. 30
minutes there. He's got to get that car back to the pits, because if he doesn't get that car back to the pits, he's going to have a long old tow. Gary Truby is round 6 8 6.
No! Into the wall again!
Oh!
Well, James, what do you think? Should he tow now?
Do you know what? I would risk it for the biscuit, mate, because I wouldn't. You cannot tow this car on this circuit. If you want to stay in this position, he's got to get that car back into the pit lane. He's near the end. He's got a long straightaway to come up. It's going to be coming up now. He's gone around the left. He's going to be coming around the right-hander. There we go. He's going to go into the mini carousel. He's only got the straightaway. I wouldn't tow that car back from there.
Can we have a look at the steering wheel maybe on the onboard camera if it's pointing straight for him, because that would be difficult. It does seem to be a little offset. Yeah, a little bit offset to the right.
About 10.
And that is maybe why that crash happened.
Yeah, he's about 10 to 20 degrees to the right-hand side currently at the moment as we're going, so he's got to be careful. Right, so, you know, we're going to be looking, he's going to have damage. He's got to get that car back. If he can get that car back, trust me, and he hasn't used all of his fast repairs. There's Gary Truby's face there. Absolutely amazing. Covered in spray. He needs a bit of a wipe down there. I think he's been sweating too much in the in his helmet cam. But there you go, guys. There is a poll in chat as well. Please fill it out. Is the commentator's curse real? 67% of people say no, and only 33 say yes currently. So no's are winning. But then
Which is good.
Yeah, but then if the commentator's curse isn't real, why do people crash when the commentator's talking about him?
Because at the end of the day, you're talking about everyone. And once in a while, it will accidentally happen that when you're talking about someone will crash. Because if the commentator's curse was real, and I would now say Mike Bousson is actually doing really well in P2, then he would be off in the next minute. And I do not think that that is going to happen.
Ah, do you not? Ivan Bremer has run out of fast repairs.
Oh, no, that is him done then, I think, with that hard of a shunt.
And by all accounts, he has not had another fast repair. So that is Ivan Bremer, unfortunately, out of the... well, he's going to have to sit there and get whatever repair times he's got left. Don't forget, these guys do have 2 fast repairs and they are not able to take any more. They have got to only use 2, any more than 2, and they're all done. This man, I don't think, has used any.
Well, there's no reason for him to use one. Maybe with some floor damage that he can take one at the next pit stop, because always with these curb you always get a little bit of damage to just get a clean car maybe. But that would be the only reason why I would see John McCutcheon take a fast repair, because he is in a league of his own, 33.8 seconds ahead of Mike Bousson. And well, he just doesn't need to use it.
No, there's no reason. If he's not going to use it, he might as well save him for safety purposes. You know,
exactly.
He's got 27 minutes remaining on track. We've got Ivan Bramer, Gary Truby, and Damien Cheese. So the guys from BSR are still in the pits. Both of them. Ivan Bramer's now in there as well with no fast repairs remaining. So there we go. If we can have a look quickly at Mike. Don't leave us too long on Mike Bousson, because I don't want to have the poor young man in any problems. Now, I've just been given some information, and it was a little bit of a tidbit that was on Twitter, that somebody replied to the picture, the tweet earlier on that the FBL community sent out, saying, nice livery there with a wink. So, I've had a look at the picture, and I believe that I am believing that. I'm going to say it's going to be this one. That Mark Sykes Designs are the group behind Bousson's livery. Now, the other livery in the picture is that of Stefan Sheen. So if we can have a look at Stefan's. So Mark Sykes Design, judging by this picture, has either done Mike Bousson's or Stefan Sheen's. So you guys, you can go to hit up Mark Sykes Designs, which is at M Sykes Designs on Twitter, if you're interested in getting liveries. So,
he's a skilled person.
Yeah, so it's either this one or I think the Mike Bousson livery. No, that's Sandro Capella. Can I go to Mike Bousson, please? Don't go to Sandro. Or that one. The thing is, we need like a close. Can we get a rear chase cam on Mike Bousson, and we'll see if there's a sticker on there. No. So maybe, no, not on the back either. So,
it does look like a very nice livery. Yeah. I like the way the colors just blend into each other.
Yeah. So I have replied to Mark and says, "Oh, I'm going to presume that's the Mike Bousson livery, and I'm going to wait and see if I can get a message back before the end of the broadcast." So, you know what I mean? We'll see what happens. But guys, there we go. We're coming into the last 24 minutes here at the FBL Endurance Race. Don't forget, if you have just jumped in, please hit that thumbs up button. Please turn on the bell for notifications. And please, please, please hit the subscribe button. Is that a sticker on the roll bar? I'm so interested to see now. No, I'm not quite sure why. Tyler's going to be flicking through the cameras to see if there's any sticker evidence that this could be a Mark.
The helmet lines up well. The helmet lines up well with the livery, doesn't he?
Yeah. So I do wonder if the guys there have done that one. But there you go. Forgot to turn off fast repair at the first pit stop and somehow needed it. Oh, poor Ivan Bramer. See, you haven't got any left. 15 minutes of required repairs left, says Ivan Bramer. So
that's got to be tight.
Yeah. If he's going to be out, he's going to be out for about one lap. He's going to. The problem with Nord is you've got to, even though John finishes the line, we've got to wait for everybody to go across the line before the results will come up.
Yes.
So if Ivan gets on track with about 5 minutes remaining, John's on the last lap. We've got to wait for Ivan to go all the way around.
Well, if you look at the top right, John is not too far away. Well, not too far. It's on proper time, but as you see, Graham Brown now. What has he been up to? Also losing the rear of the car. Can he keep it? Oh, no, he can't. Oh, that he was close to saving it, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's jumped to the pits, and I believe he may be out at the moment. I think we've got Graham Brown, Gary Truby, Damien G, Hugh Simpkins, David Rolliston, and Ty Kim that I believe did not take the start. They might be out currently as well. John, alien time from John, currently on a 6:21.5. So John has just done a 6:21.5 seconds lap. So John is absolutely still flying, still out in the lead by over 1 minute and 1 second. The closest battle is the Alphonse Ruiz battle, so we can pick up Alphonse. There he is. He's closing down Marin Grigic. So I believe both men have got to stop again. So we'll see what Marin does, whether or not he's going to go in and fuel, or whether or not he is just carrying on, because we think he did a little bit of a extended stop on the first one.
Well, he has to make it work. Otherwise, we can say clearly that there's only one man who, under normal circumstances, is able to fuel the car up to the brim and then still be on the pace. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Grigic's in second at the moment. He's up 2 places. Been aided by obviously a few incidents in and around, the track, and people unfortunately having incidents as well. I'm just wondering though, what he's going to do with Alphonse behind him here. If he's on a different strategy to Alphonse and knows that he's not planning on stopping, would you not stopping, he's got to go into the pit lane, but he's literally there for seconds and then back out again. Would you not let John through?
Well, if he is faster than me and he could tow me along on the straight, as we see that gap now open up to over a second.
Back down again.
Yes, I would let him past. But if he wasn't faster than me, or if he was on the same pace as we see Nihat Glisic looking up the inside of Bjerknes, no, I would not let him pass then.
Okay.
So he has to be faster than me. Then I would let him pass, because I would keep in the tow.
Okay, so Marin Grigic did a 1:27.29, Alphonse Ruiz 6:27.29 for Grigic and 6:26.33 for Ruiz. Second lap time difference. So what do you think?
I would let him pass at that point, but is that a lap maybe where Grigic has made some mistakes?
Yeah.
Just some little mistakes, and does he think, because of course if someone is 2 seconds faster, yes, then we can comfortably say I would let him pass. But a second, there could be a mistake or two in there, especially on a track as long as this one.
Yeah, this is meaty long at the moment. So I don't mind. Go on, sorry.
Nihat, though, he has dropped down the order quite a bit. He was up there at the beginning stages of the race, I think, but he had a flying start, but then dropped down. I don't know what exactly has happened to him. As you see, John McHutchison, our race leader, into the pits now. So in for his last probably pit stop.
Different strategy. Look, he's filling up. Nihat's had a few incidents, hasn't he? Him and Daniele Cascado from the Made team have had a bit of a few incidents, should we say. So it'd be interesting to see now. John's back out on the pits.
The pit lane is not long here, is he?
No.
Or is it? No, I don't think it is.
23 seconds. Pit lane time, 37 seconds and 15 But then again, he did stop for 23 of them. So
Yeah.
I want to see what Grigic is going to do on his next time around. Oh, no. Yes, Grigic will make it. They've got to take this pit stop 10 minutes before. Grigic's just gone round. 6.5 minute lap.
It's gonna be on the edge. He cannot crash or afford a crash this time round because that would ruin his strategy.
No, it's got... Oh,
Well,
okay.
well, just as we talked about it.
Yeah, we think Grigic may have just a little bit of time to make this round as we go back on board with Sergeant Capella, who I just honestly did say I would... Oh, no. No. Oh, slight little contact.
Affordable.
Should be fine. Let's jump back off Sandro quick. So, Marin Grigic is going round again to try and open up a lap time on Ruiz. Grigic took a lot longer stop than most people. His pit lane time was about 58 seconds, where everybody else has been about 47 at certain points. So, depends what Grigic's got to do. If he's got to go in a fuel or if he's just got to stop. So, it'd be interesting to see. But currently, Alphonse Ruiz is being chased down by Mike Busson. So, there you go.
Meanwhile, looking at this battle, Nihat Gluskic behind Christopher Björknes. Oh, there's a touch! Well, explain that one to me, James. What exactly has happened here then? I think it's clear what happened.
Can we go on board with Gluskic's nose, please? Oh, he broke so early. That's understandable why Gluskic's went in the back. Do you see his brake lights come on?
Yeah.
So early. I'm not quite sure why.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that might be his normal breaking point then. Otherwise, I would not understand why he would break that early. If someone is that close behind you.
Yeah, you either broke that early or Gluskic just broke late. I just...
It looked like it was late for me, initially.
Go back on TV1, right, so it gets a little bit out of shape, right? Normally you would break... No, you wouldn't break that early. You're not going.
Yeah.
You're not going fast enough. You're not going fast enough to break that early.
Well.
Look, he's through now. That's fine, and they've got through without any troubles. So there we go. Here is John McHutchison. 14.5 minutes remaining here. We're going to be finishing this lap and maybe one or two
Maybe
more.
two more.
Maybe two more, depending on the time and how John gets on. Thank you so much for coming in. If you are here, guys, please hit that subscribe. Turn on the bells for notifications and give the video a big old thumbs up. Now, I've had confirmation that it was the Mike Busson livery that was designed by Mark Sykes Designs. So if you want a livery, we'll have a look at the Busson livery. So if you want a livery done and for you here, hit up Mark Sykes Designs on Twitter. So there you go. Absolutely stunning job from them on the Busson livery. You can see it there. So,
as you can see, he's a very skilled man at making liveries.
Absolutely, I couldn't do a livery like that, but it is M Sykes Designs, so at M Sykes Designs. So there you go. If you want a livery that looks as pretty and as gorgeous as Mike Busson's and a matching helmet, put on his. You can put the livery on now. I'm being asked to put his @ in chat. So if you are not following on Twitter, you can go across to there. Hold on. Make sure I get this one right. I don't want to give out Mark Sykes Designs wrong.
Meanwhile,
handle. You carry on for a minute.
we look with Maren Grisic. What has he been up to? Rearwards into the barrier. Very easy mistake to make. Just slid out a bit wide there, and that is him once again into the barrier. Mike Buson now chasing down Alphonse Ruiz in third. Looks like Mike Buson, last time round for him, a 7-minute 02:41. That looks like a pit stop time. So he has made his pits already. Ahead of him, Alphonse Ruiz has done as well. It's only at the moment Maren Grisic who has to make his pit stop. He is currently in P2. These guys will take that position once Maren does make his pit stop. But David Walters, very, very close to Nihal Glusic. Or was that Björnes? No, it was Björnes. He gets past 2 tenths. And Björnes now, after that little touch with Nihat, struggling with the car now. Meanwhile, Alphonse Ruiz, that gap now within a second. So Mike Buson now has the toe down this long, long straight, which is crucial to gain time on him.
Yeah, and we've got a very unfortunate looking Maren Grisic there as well in front of us. So Maren's car is not looking good. We've pulled out a strategy and a half there as well. But unfortunately, it's got to go into the pits. Now, he should just go in and stop. So can we jump on board with Maren, please? Here he goes. He should be going in now. Here goes Ruiz. No, Ruiz is not there. He's literally just got to stop and go. Stop and go. Get in the pit, stop the car, get it repaired, go again. Unless you are taking fuel. He is taking fuel. And tyres.
Why would he take tyres at this point?
I'm not sure. And why, if he hasn't adjusted his fuel level, is he still in there?
Oh no, might he have forgotten to turn it off? Because I see no point in taking tyres right now. Because he doesn't need to.
No. Well, we will find out there. Could that be an error from Grisic about the fact that he's just taken tyres on the pit stop when really probably didn't need to. As we can see, Mike Buson climbing all over the back of Ruiz. This is going to be for second place here. Buson wants this position, and he's going to be going after Ruiz in the last 10 minutes to get it. We're going to have one more after this, and then that will be the white flag lap. Here we go. Buson's closing on Ruiz. This is it. You've got to take your chance now before you get into the really. There's not a lot of other places now. He's going to be following that Hopping Rabbit's rear wing. Daniela
Cascante, P6 into the barrier once again. A lot of drivers seeming to find this track very difficult. I do have to say, when I drive the Radical, it's a car that, when driven on edge, is easy to make a mistake in, easier than other cars. And that is proving to be very difficult for a lot of drivers on this difficult track as well.
Yeah,
it's exceptionally difficult.
Tyler in YouTube chats, but I want to point out he was doing great until you all mentioned him having to rush to get around the track in 7 minutes. For Maren Grisic, that one was. And possibly we might have Sandro Capella could possibly get P6 here. With 8.5 minutes remaining. So, stay tuned, guys. We are coming towards the end of the 90 minutes endurance at the Nordschleife circuit with the Radicals here. So, stay tuned and see how this one turns out, because I think it's going to be a bit of a spicy one. As we see David Walters and Nia Glusic. Glusic's been in the wars. David Walters looked like he jumped the start. Not gonna lie, there was a big old puff of smoke. The car moved, and he did have to brake.
Yeah.
So he obviously had a stop and hold. I probably think they would have given him here rather than a drive-through. It's not really big enough for a drive-through, so maybe a stop and hold for David Walters. So there we go. But Mike Busson is still climbing all over the back of Alphonse Ruiz.
Well, very close indeed. And after 1 hour and 22 minutes on a track like this, a gap of 2/10 and less than half a second in a fight for two different positions is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely incredible. I think at the end of the day, you know, just finishing this is an achievement. I know it's only 90 minutes. But
still, it's Nords.
Yeah, it's Nords. And not everybody... Oh, Nia there was a little bit aggressive with David Waters. Come across his nose, I'll tell you that much. That was a little bit aggressive. David could have just followed up that, and then that could have been a little bit wrong. But here we go. David's going to be looking, trying to get the inside line on the left-hander. Oh, stick with him, stick with him, stick with him. You've got to make him force that move. The problem is when you put... Oh, Niad's doing a pretty good job of forcing it himself. David Waters is going to be through on the right-hand side. That was a Niad Gluskic mistake. And that allowed David Waters through. And that's as easy as job done at Nords. Easy as that.
You normally don't get him as easy as that.
Normally you don't, but when you're under pressure like Niad was.
Yeah.
And, you know, he had no choice.
Yeah. That's why at this track I maybe would be different with letting others buy if they were quicker, you know? If you know that it's a fight that you can't fight, I would let them buy quicker than at other tracks because you don't want to be pressurized.
Yeah, I see your point a little bit, but you know, you've got to be, you know, you've got to be a little bit sensible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're still racing as well, though. So there you go. We've got Ray Peasley in YouTube. Hi, James. Sorry not been on. Missing FBL. House hunting at the moment, so not much time. But once I'm settled, I'll be back. Well, Ray, it depends if you're going to join us for the rest of this season or whether you're going to start with us again next season. Because there is only... I'm hoping you've seen the date changes, Ray. So please let me know in YouTube if you have seen the date changes, because the dates are now this week, next week, the week after. Not the weekend of the 14th. No, the 14th. Not the weekend of the 20th, because the 21st is my birthday, and I've decided I'm not broadcasting on my birthday. And we finish on the 28th, Ray. So make sure you've seen the new date changes, mate, just in case you get sorted out. If not, I'm sure you'll be back next season and we can have a wonderful chat and giggle like we normally do. So there you go. This should be the white flag. If we pick up second place, there should be see Barney the flag bearer waving frantically on the right hand side. Oh, okay.
No. Well,
John
it will be the last lap because
it will be the last lap, yes.
Yeah. You got through with 5 minutes, and a lap takes 6 minutes something. So
yeah. Yeah, we got Tyler. John came past with about 5:45 to go. We seem to think so. Which the producers just told me. So we got 5:45. So this should be the last lap of the race with John McHutchison currently out in front. Bjertnæs has been involved in somewhat of an incident. He's jumped back to the pit. So here is the Bjertnæs. Oh, it looked like he'd already done the incident before then. So can we go back a little bit if we can? Back to about 1:15:34:03, please, sir. Okay, or you could just do it that way.
oh, what is gonna happen here then?
Oh,
Too eager?
Yeah, too eager.
Yeah.
Ray Peasley, okay, buddy. Well, yeah, we'll be back next season, mate. Top bloke, keep up the good work. Cheers, buddy. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, the dates have all changed, Ray, because we wanted to try and get it done before the end of this season. Ready to start afresh on Sandro's new project for next season. So hopefully we're going to be starting a new project next season within the FBL community as well. So stay tuned for that one. And be aware there's a lot of information coming from the FBL at the moment. It's going to be a very, very busy. Things along the lines of World Cups. That's all I'm going to say on that one. So, yeah, so stay tuned. Don't forget you can head down to the description. All the links are down in the channel, in the description. No, in the video information. Down below us, you can get all the Discord links and everything else ready to go. So they're all there for you. If you want to get involved, you can. And come and join us on track next season. Looking forward to next season already, buddy. I think it's going to be an awesome one, Dan.
Yeah, well, these radicals, especially with the new SR10, they provide us with some amazing close racing. And as viewers and as commentators, when the racing is close, it's the best to watch and to commentate on.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just had some information through. We think Mr. Capella is going to end up right at the back end of Cascado. He's just took 6 seconds out of him in the last lap. So if Capella keeps closing at this pace, by the end of the lap, he could be right up the back of Cascado. So yeah, stay tuned for this one, how this one's come to an end, and whether or not Mike Bousson here is going to try and make the move past Alphonse Ruiz on the last lap of the race. So that's going to be an interesting one to see whether or not, you know, Mike can be and has been at times quite conservative. So it's closing up now though. Surely he's not going to be, he might. Do you know the smart thing he might actually do? He might hold off this move until the long back straight.
Yes, I was thinking that when we were beginning to watch this this battle, and it's something just like Formula One with the DRS detection point. The straight is so long that no matter how far you are behind, you are gonna get a chance to overtake, as long as you stay within the slipstream.
Yeah, absolutely. I would, I was thinking then at the same time, I would probably, unless Alphonse literally backs right off to let you through, I would stay behind him, because we have seen in the sprint a couple of the drivers didn't want to take that lead lap, that last lap in front of the car behind when they're going into the final part of this racetrack, which is where we are now.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't want to be that one either, because you could get swarmed when you have a lot of cars behind you. Now we see that this field is quite spread out. Our leader is almost at the Dottinger Höhe. Here we see John McCutcheon, but yeah, I wouldn't be wanting to lead. Oh, who is this? Daniele Cascado has gone off again. So, and that car does not look happy. He's going to have to get that one to the finish line.
He is going to be sliding down the order now, because Sheen is coming right up behind him. If that car
does that mean that Sandro Capella is now up into P6?
Yeah, but don't mention anymore.
Okay.
That's it. Job done. Well done to you. Here is how Cascado gave himself his own little trouble.
He was already damaged, and it's not what you want to be seeing.
No.
Oh!
Sandro did manage to stop. Yes,
yeah.
In time. Can we pick up the two leaders? Because we've got to be close to... They're on the back straight, so can we pick them up? Thank you very much, Mr. Producer, please. John McCutcheon is coming round now to take the victory. Here tonight at Nords, situated by the checkered flag in the top left-hand corner of your screen. John McCutcheon is your winner at Nords for round 6. Now go back to Bousson and Ruiz. Can we come off the replay, please? Oh! Okay. Where are they? There they are. So Ruiz nearly put himself in the wall and nearly took out Bousson in the process. Dan.
Well, a very interesting last lap, but at the end, Mike has got what he wanted, and he's got P2. Alfonso Ruiz finishing in P3. Colin Wynn coming through to take 4th position. And now we are going to have to wait quite a bit for Marin to come across the line.
Yeah, this is what we were looking at for Len Ven earlier on, before we were trying to pick the leaders back up. So here is... Oh.
Just calls it a day.
No, just he pulls over, gets out of the way.
Okay.
Right, so Nüburgring is next. Now, if you have a look, and this is where the situation we were talking about, okay? Christopher Bjertnæs in 12th place. Top left-hand corner of your track map. So we will have to wait for Bjertnæs to cross the line before we can show you the results. So there goes Mr. Capella, comes across the line in 6th place. Well done to you, sir. Congratulations on your 6th. Stefan Sheen, excellent fight back after his earlier incident at the beginning. Daniele Cascado in 8th, somewhat of a... Yeah, you're going to need the duct tape tonight, Daniele, I think, young sir. Oh, no.
Yeah, that part don't look happy.
Bjertnæs just jumped back into the pits again.
What a lovely lad.
What a lovely lad. Saved us waiting for him to go all the way around the track. And I believe he is out, jumped out. So there we go. Here is David Walters up into 9th place. I do believe David may have had a stop and go. I've got to be honest, because he did literally jump the start. So unfortunately for David,
He must have.
Yeah, he did. He clearly did. It was on the broadcast. He clearly jumped the start because of the fact he had a big puff of smoke, hit the brakes, and tried to stop the car. So
yeah. Yeah. I agree. I saw it as well. So you're not the only one seeing it.
I'm glad about that. I know I wear glasses for a reason. So you know. Let's hope that I'm not completely blind yet. No. Right, Gluskic comes across the line as well. Oh, Len just makes it across the line now, whether or not that was a very close, slow one. So there we go. So I think, guys, the poll has ended here in YouTube chat, and it's a 50-50 yes and no. So here we go. John McCutcheon is your victor tonight. He's in 1st place. Mike Bousson 2nd. Alfonso Ruiz in 3rd. Colin Wynn in 4th. Marin Grigic 5th. Sergio Cabela 6th. Stefan Sheen in 7th. Daniele Cascado 8th. David Waters 9th. Nia Gluskic 10th. Len Ven in 11th. Then we get down to the start of the non-finishers. Bjertnæs just 1 lap down. Bramer 5. Brown 5. Truby 5. G 6. Stimkin 17. Rolliston 14. And Ty Kim, who we don't actually think took the start. And he is currently 14 laps down as well. So there we go. So that rounds out tonight's racing. Let's bring in your victor this evening, who's going to join me in the booth, is our very own Mr. John McCutcheon. John, how are you?
Tired, James. Very, very tired, mate.
Mate, you and me both.
Yeah.
Nords is not easy at the best of times.
Not followed by a 24-hour spa session, no.
No, I can imagine. Was you involved?
Yeah. Done it. We finished P3 in our split.
Oh, well, that's all right.
Yeah, we've done well. Happy with that.
Yeah, yeah, of course, just finishing is ideal, isn't it, really? Because there was probably a lot of teams that didn't.
Well, we joined the 12 noon race, and I started first lap, bludged him on, clipped the curb and inside and totaled the car. So we joined the 5 o'clock session later on.
Oh. Yeah, probably
So
not. Yeah, not off to a flying start there, mate, were you?
No. Sure wasn't.
Yeah, absolutely. What about tonight, though? Nords is a different entity to Spa. You know, one mistake here can kind of put you out forever, really, can't it?
Yeah, you don't get many 1Xs here. You just get a straight to the wall, and then it's a face plant. So I think I get one 1X right enough. Just clip the grass. But yeah, it's total concentration around here all the time, especially an hour and a half. That was difficult.
Yeah, I think it's the amount of curbs as well. Do you know what? You know what I mean? And I think, you know, with 154 turns, tricky curbs that literally lift the SR8 off the ground. It's just about surviving, isn't it? Really, you know, you had a flying start. You know, David Walters clearly looked like jumped the start. You managed to get out in front early on, and you just kind of pulled away from it after that.
Yeah, I felt sorry for David because I think he put a lot of hours into this race. I think he'd done a lot of practice for it, so I feel bad for him. Yeah, he did jump the start, and then you don't. If you jump the start, you don't stop. You just go, you know, and you're going to get this penalty anyway. And I don't know if that was playing on his mind when he was going round the track, and he just crashed. So
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? You are going to get the penalty, so you might as well carry it on. You're going to get
yeah,
you're going to get the stop and go. So you might as well just put the foot down and carry on. So next weekend we head off to Mosport. John, how are you feeling?
Oh, good, like that. Good little tricky corner down the far end.
Yeah.
With, is it Jones chicane or Jones hairpin maybe? That's good. That's good fun if you get it right.
No.
Not so good if you get it wrong.
No, but then again, no track's really good if you get it wrong, John, is it?
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
Right, I will let you, John, go and get some sleep, buddy. I know the 24 hours of Spa has been grueling on a lot of us. I was broadcasting for the 24 hours as well. So I'll let you go on, and we'll see you next week, mate.
What split were you broadcasting? Were they running up the grass?
No, we didn't do the top split. Basically, Prismatic Motorsports.
Right.
Basically, we were doing a team focus on there. They were in split of about 2K. So
okay.
I'm not quite sure where that was from, but yeah, basically we just did that. But they had their other car as well. Their Prismatic Athena car was a little bit further up in splits. So we were broadcasting one, and then covering the information of the other one. So
good stuff, because there's been a lot of
that grass is
comments about the grass and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
there was only one person who did it in that split. So
me.
Well, possibly. I don't know. No, I don't actually think unless you were from Portugal, John.
No, not recently. No.
No,
recently.
So that was it was a Portuguese driver, but yeah. Look, it is what it is. I'm sure iRacing will get it all sorted out. But John, thank you so much for joining us in the booth, and we'll see you next week in Mosport.
Yeah. Thanks again, James.
Take care, man.
Good night, mate.
Right. Let's bring in second place man, Mike Buson. Mike, I would like to ask you one simple question. How are the underpants?
Yeah, I thought to myself, I'll just wait. I've watched enough videos of this track, you know, don't want to be in front of him. Just sit behind him, and then at a half spin, I thought, 1 minute I thought, oh, he's just made it easy for me. And then I thought, oh, he's coming at me. But yeah.
Yeah.
Close. But
you got through.
Survived.
You survived, didn't you? That's the most important thing. How are you feeling anyway? Because, you know, just spoke to John McHutchison. He was tired. He did the 24 hours of Spa. He's absolutely shattered. I'm tired. Dan's tired. Everybody, you know, Tyler's just naturally tired, whether he does the 24-hour or not. Tyler's always tired. So, you know, did you do the 24-hour Spa first?
Oh, I'm fresh as a daisy.
You didn't do it, did you?
I didn't.
Oh, Mike. I wish I was in your shoes about now, mate. I've got to be honest.
I am yet to do one of those, so it will come soon, I'm sure.
Well, contact the guys in the FBL. Niad does endurance races with Ivan. So, you know, if you've got an option of getting involved with them, mate, you can get involved and go and do an endurance race.
Well, that's it. Now I've been driving the SR10. I feel like I could drive. I'm a GT Pro now.
Oh, mate, you're the king. You're literally out there, I tell you. Esports, you know, amazing is up and coming for you. But how did you find tonight, Mike? You know what I mean? It's a tough track, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a track I don't like. It's my worst track. I don't practice it. So I'm really happy with that. That's I class that as a small victory.
I would do as well, mate. To be fair.
When John got, like I said to John, when he got a slow start, I thought I do not want to go round him. So I sort of thought to myself, I'll just filter back in behind him because there's nothing like worse than having a Mr. McCutchinson behind you pressuring you. I wanted an easy evening.
Yeah, no, he got away, didn't he? And he just cleared off down the road. Little bit of a different pit strategy this week, so that's going to be interesting as well. So he fueled up twice rather than stopping and going on the last one. But there you go. But Mike, look, you have a wonderful evening and congratulations on your second place, young sir.
Thank you very much. I will see you on the next one.
Yeah, take care. We're going to Mosport, mate.
Yeah. Good track.
Yeah.
See you soon.
See you later. Right, so the last and not the least gentleman to join us in the booth is our very own Colin Wynn. Colin, how are you, young sir?
How are you, darlings? Long time no speak.
Yeah, long time no speak, mate. Mate, to be honest, up here in the booth are absolutely knackered. Dan's been on the 24-hour spa. Tyler's just naturally.
Yeah, hold on a minute. Is that 24 hours or is that more than 24 hours? Because we know what he's like with his maths.
Oh, I don't know.
Just got to get it in there. Just got to get it in there.
He's coming back now.
Now he's unsilenced himself. But here he comes.
No, was it 24 hours, Dan? It was 24 hours, wasn't it?
Well, let me count real quickly.
Quick, get a calculator.
Get a calculator out. So there you go. No, dude, it's been a tough weekend, I think. Did you get involved with the 24 hours, mate?
No.
No, okay. Just
no,
stayed out of the way. So you're fresh, nice and fresh as a daisy then.
Absolutely. I'm sweating like a rabid dog as well.
Oh, nice. How was the race for you anyway? You know, you were in fourth. How did it go?
It was all right. It was it was nice having Iwan and Alfonso behind me at the beginning. Very respectful. I thought one of them was going to touch me at one point, but they didn't. But very respectful. And then I decided to pit early, one lap early, and the rest of the race I was just running around like a Sunday driver. I was there on my own. Yeah. No one to race with. Yeah,
we did see that battle with Alphonse and Ivan. I was a little bit worried, mate. So if you watch it back, you know, I was a little bit worried because under your own admittance, would you say that both of them was quicker than you on this racetrack?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so because you were defending like absolute crazy. And when you were going too wide into that last off the back straight, dropping down the hill after the bridge, that was it. I was sitting there going, no, this could go completely wrong because you know what it's like.
I think at Nords there were sections where I was quicker than them and then they were quicker than me. So it was nice to see where they were quicker than me. So I will practice those bits for next time.
Yeah, well, we're going to most sports, mate. So I won't worry about it at the moment. We're going to most sports
next
week.
But still got to practice it. Oh yeah, well I might give that one a miss. We'll see.
Oh, why don't you fancy 90 minutes?
We'll see.
Don't you fancy 90 minutes of most sport?
Yeah, I'll probably give it a bash. We'll give it a go.
Come on, we haven't got long left before we finish the season. So you might as well come over and do something, you? We've only got 4 races.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'll be there. Come on. I'll make up the numbers.
Yeah, come on, Johnny. To be fair, you know, it's not as big a drop-off as we thought it was going to be at this stage of the season, though, Colin, to be fair. So it's still holding 19 cars, nearly 20 cars on track. It's not bad.
And so it should. It's a bloody good league. You know, people need to do the endurance and a radical and have a bit of fun in it and realise just how great it is. You know, 90 minutes in a radical, hard work, really hard work. Some bloody good drivers out there. But yeah, you got to try it. I think once you try it, you'll be hooked on it.
Absolutely, and I myself can say it's tough work. You know what I mean? It is very tough work. 90 minutes in a rad. But Colin, 4th place. Congratulations. And
thank you very much.
We'll look forward to seeing you on the track next week then.
Definitely. Catch you then. Cheers, guys. See you, Dan. See you, Tyler.
Right. So,
bye.
Oh, bit late. I moved him. Guys, you've got to speak quicker. I tell you. Who brings you into the booth? Right. Let's switch over. Right, guys, we are back, and that is the end of tonight's broadcast. Dan, are you back in the box with me?
Yes, I am.
Dan is back in the box with me, so there you go. Thank you very much for joining me. Dan, what do you reckon? Give me one sentence, Dan. One sentence on tonight's racing.
Just 3 words. Awesome as always.
Oh, well, there you go. That is it. So, guys, we're going to round out this broadcast this evening because all of us here up in JBB, up in the booth, and Dan in his house, and Tyler, who's just, well, he's just naturally tired. He didn't have to do the spell 24-hour anyway. Do you, Tyler?
I did. I crashed it very well. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, there you go. Tyler crashed it very well. But so he's tired from sitting down watching everybody else drive properly. So there you go, guys. So from us at JBB, we will see you next time in Motorsports. Thank you so much for joining us. Everybody that's been here as well. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, and turn on the bells for notifications. But from myself, Dan, and producer Tyler, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.